Monster, king, or lover, explore the end of One Dark Window with us. Welcome to Mythic Mere, the podcast for lovers of myth and fantasy who want to live magical, fulfilling lives. I'm your host, Mary C. Kehoe.
I'm your co-host, Carolina Carter.
And today we are talking about the second half of One Dark Window. So if you haven't read it, go read it, come back. We will be spoilering. That's a word.
Yes.
Kara, what was you mentioned you wanted to read something?
Yeah, I wanted to set the stage. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig starts off with this dedication to the quiet girls with stories in their heads, to their dreams and their nightmares. And chills, first of all. I get chills. And second of all, as someone who has quite a lot of nightmares, it felt important.
Oh, I'm sorry you have a lot of nightmares.
It's all right. Some are funny. But all about embracing that shadow part.
Yeah. Which might not be a shadow part, as it turns out.
Well,
In the book. And we're going back to
oh,
the book.
right. Yes. So, getting right into it, we covered the first half last week. So, I think everybody, and
Week
hopefully
before
you've
last.
read the book by not week before last. Thank you. Now, let's really get into it, Mary. Do you want to go first, or can I go first with theories, thoughts, feelings?
You can go first. I would say, first off, though, that we were correct with our theory. 'Twas the king.
Yes, the nightmare is the Shadow King.
Dun, dun, dun.
My
Shepherd
second
king.
theory,
Shepherd king.
I've heard it both ways.
Now he's the Shadow King.
We are only 2 sips of coffee in, so we're gonna get sharper as this goes along. Second theory, not so right though. I thought he was the love interest. So you know what? I'm not actually gonna give myself a wrong yet. I think he still might be the love interest.
Yeah, there's 2 books, so
There's 2 books.
anything can happen.
Time will only tell. Only time will tell. Only Tiny Tim can tell us.
Gee, I wish he hadn't died.
Who did not die. I still think he is. Couple reasons. And I'm sorry, I'm going to start with my theory. I think that the Shepherd King will ultimately be the final love interest. He does not like Raven. I feel like every time Raven speaks, he's like, and then also, well, okay, this is blending with another one. The other thing that I thought was interesting, and I don't blame Raven for this, but the nightmare is to use internet speak, a consent king. He never does anything if she doesn't say he can. And so he gets especially upset when Raven enters her mind when she told him not to. He says, "Get out." I thought that was interesting. And then also when Raven and Elspeth have their sexy time. There's got to be a different way to say that. When Raven and Elspeth are together intimately, she notices that the nightmare goes away for a while.
Well, yeah, because that'd be
Hang
real weird.
on.
Okay, sorry.
Let me finish my 2 big theories.
Go.
One, he didn't like it. So he went away because he was like, gross. And he's in love with Elspeth. 2, theory number 2, because, okay, so I feel like I never wrapped my head fully around Raven's sickness. He negates the power of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that he can negate the power of the nightmare? Did the nightmare go away because of Raven's power? And in that case, can Raven expel the nightmare from Elspeth?
I
thought of that one.
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably
I could
not.
be
He's
wrong.
probably just in love with her.
Now, I disagree with your theory. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, dun dun dun.
Because I mean, like I see the relationship as because he was old when
Yeah.
he was trapped. So he's like this old king, and he went into her head at 11 or 9, 11 years ago when she was 9 years old. So
I mean, yes,
uh,
but she's
to
not
me,
11
whenever he's
now.
talking to her, he's like, "Dear," like he's talking like a mean old grandpa.
So I have issues. What do you want? Okay.
Uh,
I don't want some young strapping thing. I want a decrepit old king. A grumpy old man. So let me have my dream, all right?
I will say though, on your behalf, that uh, not many books currently show that level of care when it's not the love interest.
Yes, which is the other thing I loved about this book, which is that the romance seemed secondary to the story. Loved
Hmm.
that.
And that, I mean, if he isn't the love interest, that there is that level of care, and that, like, even in his when he's being the nightmare and we don't know if we can trust him. As the book goes on, you get to know who he is and the gentle consideration, especially at the end. I felt like when he finally does have to take over, which he knew is inevitable, he's
Mm-hmm.
so like slow, considerate, kind, like you know
Yeah.
what will happen. Like you're too close to the end for me to help now without taking over.
Mm-hmm. And tells her to rest.
So if he's not the live interest, that's pretty great to have a character. I mean, you can't get much more intimate than someone living in your own mind
Mm.
and having it be a positive thing. Showing that kind of love, because there are so many different kinds of love, and we do tend to only focus on the romance.
Right.
Which
No.
brings us to
Yes.
Ione. Yong.
Yong. Okay, I did look this up. I, like an eyeball,
Uh-huh.
own, like to own
Ione.
a guitar. I
Oh,
own.
all
And
right.
then I was chagrined because it's Irish. It brings us to Ione because Elm's so in love with her. Oh.
Yeah, 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 that's totally true. And I was thinking it comes to Ione because even when she's turned heartless, she still defends Elspeth and cares about her.
Yeah, I am very intrigued by her. It's interesting because the least intriguing thing about her is actually Elm being in love. What do you do? What's that?
I'm getting ready for my theory.
Oh God. Okay. um, because she initially, when I started this book, I kind of like didn't care much about her. Not that I
Mm-hmm.
didn't care for her. I was just kind of like, all right, this is a side character who's just like kind of weak, kind of vapid, is very kind. Who cares? And then she gets the maiden card and you're like, okay, she's very two-dimensional character. And then she starts saving Elspeth's butt and you're like, and then all right, I want to hear your theory.
Okay, so first I did write down my reaction to something before I finished the book because I was trying to capture that. All right, so when they first have their actual big conversation since she's been using the maiden card, and she says, there's so much you don't know about powerful men, like she something about that. And I was so frustrated with her because I was like, yeah, she's the one who warned you against these powerful men. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why? Um, anyway, so yeah, I went from yeah, like okay, I see her. She's there. To being really frustrated with her and angry, and then it, as it went on, you start to wonder, like, remember how she said, "Trust me"? Maybe she's up to something 'cause the
Mm-hmm.
way she keeps defending her, and then so my theory is that she asked for the maiden card as part of the deal, and that because remember we were trying to figure out why the maiden card even had anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So if she asked for it, not and everyone thought it was just to be pretty, but she was asking for it for the price, not the perk. She knew
Baller.
what she was going into and that she needed to be heartless
Heartless. Dang, Mary,
in
that's a
order
good
to be the
theory.
wolf instead of the lamb.
I have chills.
Yeah, I'm like, that's pretty cool.
And it's
That's
probably all for Elspeth because she's infected and because she wanted to save her and not risk
mm-hmm.
her being killed by the physicians someday.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Yeah, okay, see, that's like way cooler than her being like, maybe there's some good in him. It's like,
Yeah. Which then why didn't she just tell her? I guess because but
because she would have talked her out of it
but she was trying to
or tried.
talk her out of it
Yeah.
anyway, you know?
She would
She
have done it harder.
Yeah, I feel yeah, I think she could have let her in on the but I mean, of course then the reader doesn't get the slow realization, but
Right. And my slow realization also being that Elspeth is judging her pretty harshly and granted, Elspeth didn't really have a choice regarding the nightmare entering her head. However, she
mhm.
is making the same choice of sacrificing herself for power when she feels helpless.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to what's hard is y- Elspeth doesn't know like she's never met someone with the maiden card before, so you just know that the person becomes heartless. You don't know like okay, how much does that change you? And then so when she's and then she's only ever really seen her with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see her wondering, is she even the person that I love? Like, how much has this card changed her?
Which really frustrated me during the chalice scene because it seems like she should have known something was wrong and off. When she said that, she was like glassy eyed.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel
Mm-hmm.
like there's just been a couple times in the book where I feel like she hasn't been very clever
Yeah. Yeah, that
or
the chalice
wary.
scene.
She's not being wary, clever, or good.
You're supposed to be clever.
Be
Be
wary, be
good.
clever, be good. Like
Yeah,
if
that's
your
true.
person that you've known your whole life is acting weird and glassy eyed, maybe they're under a
Maybe there's a
spell.
reason. Yeah. Yeah. It's not just the maiden card. She hasn't been glassy eyed before.
Right.
Yeah, I really wanted her to figure out a way through that chalice card scene
Yes.
in a clever way. Like I wanted it to be as hard as it was because the cards need to have power.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a little disappointed with how that ended and how it kind of felt like the reason it happened was so that Raven did go into her mind, even though he'd promised not to in order to help her.
Same. No, and it just Raven was trying to help her. The nightmare was helping her. Like, it just has to be. It's the truth, but just has to be framed right. And I'm like, you have so much help. You literally have an ancient voice in your head helping you. Like, just chill for a second and figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. That was kind of the only scene that disappointed me.
I was wondering
Um,
if it's building towards a scene in the second book where she's able to do it.
maybe. Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
That'd be cool. Um,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
We're deeply disappointed. Okay, well then I my next thing that the part of this book that broke my heart into pieces was that for chapters and chapters they're scheming about how to steal the well card from her
Yeah.
father and he just comes in and gives it to her. And it's like the
Yeah.
fact that that never crossed her mind
Mhm.
and I'm like, "See, you have been too hard on your dad this whole time. He
Mhm.
so clearly loves you. He so clearly is doing his best and like yeah that she was literally just willing to fight him steal from him and it never crossed her mind that he would just be willing to give it to her. It
Yeah.
hurt my heart.
Yeah, I don't think she's ever I mean, It's hard because he's married to a very cruel person.
Yeah,
And
evil
so,
stepma.
especially as a kid, you're going to think, like, well, he's chosen this cruel person over me.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand, like, some of her reaction being that hurt little kid. But yeah, it is hard because reading it, when you're reading outside of it, you can so clearly see how much he loves her.
Right.
And speaking of just framing the truth or framing the words correctly, even though Raven could have lied, he still just framed it.
Yeah, he gave her an excellent example.
He said, I was about the king's business, which it's like he literally was.
Right.
He was doing what the king's trying to do and what he should be doing correctly. Okay, should we pause for Discworld Delight?
Yes. YouTube guesses say Carpe Jugulum. TikTok guesses also Carpe Jugulum, also Lords and Ladies.
It is indeed Carpe Jugulum, or seize the throat. Or to be more accurate, jugular.
Jugular. Beautiful. Good job, everybody.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron handed the king his coffee and said, I believe Lord Vetinari said never do anything until you hear the screams. However, Ardent is not one to come back helmet in hand to say, sorry, there's too much pride there by half.
Favorite, least favorite thing about fantasies and world building is the swears that they have to come up with, Um, and by least favorite, I do mean that with a huge amount of fondness, but just the trees. But it's also funny because they dropped the F bomb a couple times in this book too. So we still have that word, but also
Oh, do
trees.
they? Oh, that's funny.
At least
Yeah.
three swears.
I didn't notice with this book, but some books I start reading, I guess it's the way it's used and how often. Because I was just reading one book where it was like, especially with two of the characters, every time they talked to each other, it was like every other sentence had the F word. And it just felt like this is pulling me out of the story.
Or I don't know, there's one I was reading recently, I can't remember, but for some reason it was like really taking me out. And I really think it was just like they just replaced God with gods. She was like,
Mm,
"Oh gods, no, let it not end like this." And I was like, I think what took me out is I was like, I feel like even if there are multiple gods, you would still grow an attachment to one, and you'd call out
mm,
one. Like it would be this like it's just because they, and I think it might be because they never like built out.
so it felt half baked, kind of.
Yeah, I was just like, all
Yeah.
right, all you did was add an S,
Hmm, hmm.
and but
Right. Like it doesn't affect any other part of their life. It's just this one
yeah,
word.
and I get it. I mean, writing's hard.
So I've got I too have something to read. And this was the moment when I trusted the nightmare. When I let
Mm-hmm.
go of any last questions of like, yeah, but maybe he's all just manipulating her. And this is when the boy who's been found to be infected is being taken and his parents are being forced into the woods, and it's all very terrible. And the nightmare, his he gives a rhyme which, as you said, chills. So he says, when the shadows grow long, when our names turn to dust, what we loved, what we hated will spoil to rust. All will be forgotten save one truth unshaken. What did we do when the children were taken? Yeah, that one got me. And yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, he's a good guy.
That one got me too because I I was worried she would do something, and I was just like, don't do it, just like lay low. You are almost finished with your quest. Like this sucks, it's horrible, but like don't ruin it now. And then he said that, and I was like, damn, He's right.
Yeah, me too, actually. And I
Trees.
and I think trees. I think part of that is like in a book you kind of guard yourself against. You're like, okay, yeah, the bad things that kind of happen. We've heard about this. Okay, now a bad thing's happening, and you kind of like depersonalize. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, uh, his parents will be taken to the woods, and they're not going to survive, and he'll be taken up to the prison. But maybe we could like save him later in the prison. But like, just
Yeah.
don't do anything stupid right now.
Stuff happens in Blender, all right?
And then he says that, and you're like, oh no, we got to do something right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And very interestingly, it did not take really any convincing to get Elm to help her. He
Mm-hmm.
was like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? You're right. And that was
Yeah.
when I fell in love with the character of Elm because I think, I don't know, I just like him. I like that he doesn't like
Mm-hmm.
Elspeth. I think that makes him clever.
Mm-hmm.
And then that scene too, I was like, okay, like this is a good character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, my toxic trait is that I never distrusted the nightmare. Not from the moment this book began. I was like, obviously that's the good guy. Maybe the love interest. Dark,
uh,
scary monster with fangs. Yes. Oh, he's actually an old man? Even better. He's not old though, because he died young. And he's just sort of existed in this.
but why, when she talks about him, she sees this old guy, this old king,
It
the old
never
knight
says
in the.
old.
We're gonna
It
pull it
just
up.
says a knight in gold. You read gold and thought
Mm.
old.
No, I swear. She sees an old man.
Mm-mm.
Well, I'm not gonna be able to find it. You'd be able to find it better in a real book.
All right, correct us, dear readers. Is he old? Or has he existed in this mid 40s, early 50s range for the last hundreds of years? Perfect
How old
age.
is she?
I have no idea. Who cares? 21?
All right.
She's
Uh,
uh she's wise beyond her years, Mary.
yeah, because she's had an old man living in her head since she was 9.
Yeah, lucky baby ducky.
Clearly.
Clearly. Oh, and on that note of the bad guys, very disappointed that Hathrowan did not die. I'm like, come on. The nightmare took over and it couldn't kill him. I mean, I guess she, pushed him out a window, did her best, but still, wish he was dead.
She, the nightmare, purposefully did not kill him because he knew
Mm.
that the king would work with him having just killed his tool. But if he had actually
Ah,
killed his son, then it would be a lot harder to make the deal.
and his tool. Oh, that was a theory I was wrong about. I thought Raven was going to sacrifice himself to save his brother. Of course, the evil physician is infected, and that's who they were going to sacrifice, but like, of course, could not get
Hmm.
any eviler.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole time he's talking, you're just like, how,
And
how
why?
did you work that out in your brain?
And maybe he just wanted to survive.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
enjoys it and doesn't care.
He's dead. We'll never find out. Who cares?
Who cares? All right, so on to the theory that is not mine, but that I really love. Okay, so I watched a review of this book after writing all my notes, and this is by Rachel Terry. So she has a YouTube channel and is also an independent author. So her
Awesome.
theory, and she said she couldn't find it anywhere else. And I had noticed how, like kind of the emphasis on their like when Elspeth and Raven are talking about being a highwayman, and the highwayman always meets the hangman. There's this thing about Raven being the highwayman. So her theory is that the author, also named Rachel, had a this is kind of an homage to the poem The Highwayman. Like she wove things in that have to do with that book, or I mean that poem.
Oh, yeah,
And as she was talking, yeah, as she talked, I was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that."
right.
So how you mentioned Ione calling her Bess is her nickname. Bess is the name of the girl in the poem,
I'm
and
so
she's bless
disappointed
my
we didn't
the
think
black
about
eyed
that.
daughter. I know, and she was
Yes.
talking about Lorena McKennett's song. I'm like, I can't believe I didn't even think about it. Like, how often have we sung that song?
I'm
So,
so upset and then with him riding back to the castle and her screaming to warn him away.
mm-hmm,
I'm gonna cry.
mm-hmm. I know, and there's even the scene where she's looking down right before he leaves. The last time she sees him, she's like on the stairway and she's
Mm-hmm.
leaning through the and he like reaches up and I think he like touches her hair or something. It's like she's above and he's below, and it's like the scene from the poem.
I can't believe neither of us thought of that. That is
I know.
very good job, Rachel Terry. I can't. That's brilliant.
Mhm. Mhm.
I can't listen to that song without crying, and I'm even kind of tearing up right now.
You like Raven better now, don't you?
Yep. To be clear, I didn't dislike him.
No, I know.
He's just not an old man, and therefore subpar.
Well, and you get to know just by the fact that he's inside her head, or the reader's closer to the nightmare than Raven sooner, even though some of us don't trust him or didn't.
Fools.
Fools, all of us. Not you,
Absolute fools. Not
though.
me. Not
uh,
me. I've got an excellent sense of trust.
mm-hmm. Which is funny because now I'm reading a book where she can hear both the deceased voice of um she's a paladin, and so the guy who was the paladin who was training her, she can hear him in her head, and the demon who um was the reason her teacher is dead is also
Dang.
in her head. So I know I picked right after this book I picked up another book where, and this time it's a demon and he ain't good. I was like,
Mm,
here's a clear difference,
mm.
although he is funny, as a lot of demons
I
are.
can forgive a lot if you're funny.
Although sometimes he's just annoying. So I can't
Mm.
forgive annoying and evil.
Speaking of which, I did look online to see people's reactions, and I was curious. I think you and I are both fans of the rhyming, but some people were very turned off by the nightmares rhyming.
Hmm.
Did I should have asked you, how did you feel about the nightmares rhyming?
I liked it. I did get a little not I wasn't frustrated with the rhyming. I liked the rhyming, but I did wish he was a little bit more like he knew all this stuff. Why didn't he tell her?
She didn't ask.
Yeah, but she does. Like, come on.
He's a very private person, Mary.
I know, but why didn't he tell her
Can't a
about
man be
her?
entitled to his secrets? Her tell her about her.
Sure, he didn't help unless she asked, but he didn't say like, "Hey, you know when I do that, that's hastening your end." Like he could have said that.
Because it's a prophecy. So not much he could have done about that, huh, Mary?
Oh well. So rhyming, I liked. Telling her a little bit more would have been nice.
Sure.
I also think some people didn't grow up having their dad read poetry, so
Aw.
that's why they don't like the rhyming.
Mary, my final
Hmm.
question for you. How did you feel like vibe wise this book was at all similar to yours that will be coming out?
Mm. Yeah, it felt a little. It felt similar in kind of the aspect of it being a closed off society,
Mm-hmm.
um, and things going wrong that you don't necessarily know about right away. I think The evil of blunder is a little more outright than what is going on in my book.
Right, which I don't think this makes nope, no spoilers. Which I think makes the evil in your book a little more insidious. And there's one other similarity, but I can't say because it is a spoiler. It's the to control people, which I love. I love that. I think that's very important. So this is a duology.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to read the next one next?
Yeah. Let's do it.
You all, my dear readers, we will be reading Two Twisted Crowns next. Do read along with us. You have 2 weeks,
Tweaks.
and then we'll read the first half. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's summer and we are busy,
Mm-hmm.
but we are thriving.
Speaking of thriving, what is your spark of the week?
All my flowers are blooming right now. I have a cute little flower box, and my little flowers out back are doing well. And every single day, they make me happy.
Yay.
Mary,
That's
what was
nice.
your spark of the week?
All right. So this one is that part of my car stopped working.
Mm.
It was terrible. And it was something that had stopped working on my last car. So I knew it was going to be about like $2,000 if that was what the problem was. And fortunately, it is covered in the extended warranty. And the guy said it was the fastest the warranty like request had been approved ever. And so I just felt very lucky.
Look who just got up.
Oh, hi, good morning.
He says it's breakfast time.
Mm-hmm.
Tops it. Do you want to say hello?
Oh, Dr. Kiki. We don't get to see you as often. This is the
Yeah.
first time, actually, you've graced us with your presence.
My nosies.
And with that very important piece of information, we're grateful to be spiraling through the universe with all of you. It's not always easy, but no good story ever is.